Hello. Can you hear me now? Okay, I think we're live now. So, welcome to another Live Solutions. As usual, please let me know if you can hear the bass correctly and my voice, of course, so we can start. Hello, everyone. Coming now. I know it's not Fridays, so the thing is, I'm gonna be busy tomorrow, and I didn't want to skip this because I'm liking it, and I'm liking the fact that I'm helping you a little bit. So thanks for everyone coming now. So reminders as usual. You can go to Facebook if you ever have a doubt on when I'm doing these streams. On Facebook, I'm usually letting you know of the time some events will occur in general. And what else? That's it. You can. Of course, if you want more streams, you can go to Twitch. I'm doing every day, actually every night. I'm doing just messing around things, about an hour, 2 hours maybe, in which I just play around backing tracks and I do some requests on Twitch. That I just reserve the request for Twitch, because you know the thing with copyright over here, so I have to be a little bit more careful. But that's it. Hello, everyone, and this place is for you to give me your questions about bass, guitar, and music in general. Specifically, you can ask me about technique, things that I can help you. Maybe something about any song you have any doubt on that we can go through, and many other things. And as usual, I'll let you know of the usual questions. I'm not from America, I'm from Chile, a country in South America. The name of the bass is a Washburn Taurus T24. I've been playing for about 6-7 years. Maybe I'm 25 years old. And what's the other question? The usual. Yeah, I record myself using digital processing. I have no pedals, no amps, okay? But as the flow of questions probably will come, you can let me know of more things, okay? Like, for example, Stay Hydrated says, hey, do you play professionally anywhere or just on YouTube? Well, I consider this kind of like playing professionally in a way, because when I upload anything or I transmit anything, you can watch me and you can, approve or disapprove. You can applaud me. You can give me your shoutouts. You can kind of like interact in a way like a professional musician would do. But I also play on a band. If you want to go to them on YouTube, actually, we have a channel. It's called Ibanez. That's how you pronounce it in Spanish. But it's something like in hears. And it comes from the word inerrance. I don't know if you pronounce it like that. But you can see it on the recommended pages on YouTube or Facebook, and there I actually show my face. If you want to look at my face, it's not a thing that I'm that ugly. I'm ugly, but not that much. and you can go there, and I actually play in some gigs with the band. Not that usually that not that that many as I want to actually, but I hope with the time passes, we have more gigs probably, and maybe we can interact more with people, live, because that's great for actually improving as a player, of course. But I have my chances of playing on gigs, and I love the emotion. I love the feeling that comes from it, and I really miss it when I'm not playing live. Um, so Kim Deal or No Deal says, "What gear do you use?" And that's the usual I was just asking about. I mean, telling you about. I use no pedals, no amps. I go through the bass into a DI box. You can search for what is a DI box, but in short words, it's just a signal cleanser, and improves a lot of the sound. Um, then it goes into a Scarlett 2i2 Focusrite audio interface. Any audio interface is just a thing that converts the analog signal into a digital signal. That's all. Okay. Of course, there's a lot of process and technology into it, but that's the main thing. And with those zeros and ones are the ones that you are here now. A lot of zeros and ones. Okay. But they are. I think there's always a struggle between analog and digital worlds, especially in this time in which there's a lot of transitioning. I guess so. Many people give war to digital. Many people don't care that much about analog. And I think you need to know both worlds to get the impression of it. But I always tend to go for digital, especially because of the comfort that I can model a lot of the signal. Okay, especially for my work, which is being really versatile in the things that I do. Okay, so maybe if I have an amp, it will not help me with all the things that I have to do. Okay, so more questions. I hope I can play some more today. So please give me questions so I can play. Okay. um, how do you get a fatter from fat tone from your bass? Okay, there's lots of options for that, and I was just in the stream yesterday. Someone asked me to play a Gorillaz song that I don't remember, but it was a really simple line, and it's a really fat tone, the one that you need. This is a jazz type bass. Usually, when I want more body, I tend to go to this and maybe lower down this one. So I just have this pickup. Then I have a little bit more of roundness. But for fatness, I think you really need to get a little bit less treble. So maybe I will tune the tone control a little bit down. Over there maybe. And every other thing will be on your fingers actually, okay? If you play over here, you will never get that fatness that you want. Maybe you want to play over here even, right next to the fretboard. There I'm just playing with DI, so maybe if I have an amp, I can even model that maybe more bass, maybe cut a little bit of treble, maybe add a little bit of mids. and that's it. Maybe if you want to add even a little bit of octave, will give you more of the nice fat sound that you can get, but most of it is on your fingers, and that means playing round is different from playing sharp actually with your fingers. If you play with more of the tip of your fingers, you will get I think more sharpness in the sound compared to playing with more of the fullness of your finger and trying to give it more of an upright bass feel in a way. Okay, so controlling the tone and controlling the way you play will give you some of the goal you want, but most of it will be of course on the modulation of your signal, and for that it's important to know about sound design, know about sound engineering in a little bit of a way, maybe not that full, but you really need to know many things, maybe a little bit of many aspects of a sound to really get good tone, as many people refer to. Okay, I forgot to tell you, I activated recently the super chat thing, so with if you want a more featured explanation for anything, you can go there, and the chat mostly loses some of the comments, so it's a good idea, I think. And on the description you have the other type of donations if you want to, of course. Please remember, I'm just doing this because of Patreon also, so if you want to consider becoming one, I would love to know that. Because of the copyright things, you always know that, because any YouTuber will remind you of that. But in my case, I don't get any monetization for anything other than this video. So maybe some bass only things, maybe some video games things that I need to do a little bit more maybe. But in most of the cases you have the copyright thing that will not allow me to get real profit of the video itself. Okay. More questions. I just broke the nut on my bass no more than 2 minutes ago. Send help. Whoa. I don't know what to tell you, man. You will need to get a visit to your local bass guy. I don't know how to tell it. Do you prefer Fender Precision basses or Fender Jazz? Okay, here's the other thing. For most of the time I just been playing this bass and this type of bass, and then when I have the opportunity I usually pick up a jazz type bass. But it's just a thing about being accustomed to. I think if I ever buy a new bass, that it may be soon, maybe I'd go for a precision type, because I want to have both of the worlds. But I think I like a little bit more of the modern sound that you can get with a jazz. I tend to go more for lots of presence on bass, because that's a way to fight against the mixing. Usually the mixing is not that in favor of the bass, so I usually tend to go to lots of mid-high registers, maybe mids, and maybe let the body to a little bit of a less degree in some cases. But it just depends. It really depends on the song, depends on everything. If you can, try both. Always, if you have two options, always try both. experimenting it's a way to get your own ideas, of course. Dream bass, I don't think I have a dream bass, but I think any bassist kind of like thinks being professional means having um, a vintage jazz Fender jazz bass, of course, probably, or maybe any of that type of bass. But I think you discover with some time that a lot of the tone that you can get, you can also get into there if you're knowing some things about playing and about modeling the signal, as I just said to you. But of course, construction and natural sound that you can get from a really great expensive bass, it's uncomparable in some cases. Okay, I know this is not the greatest, and you can notice, I think, on live streams because I'm just playing natural, but it's not that bad actually. I don't think it sounds that bad. Okay. So another question: which finger you use to pop the string when you play in slap? Okay, I tend to use index finger usually when I'm doing something like this. So I usually tend to go for index, but in some cases I just mentioned in the last stream, when you start playing usually for the first time or after a while slapping, you will get some blisters, and maybe in those cases I tend to change to middle just for necessity, for keep playing and don't hurt myself that much. So I tend to use both. And that's a good example of knowing versatility, of course, because you can apply it to both fingers. Now I'm using a middle. I think actually I get different tones from it, because I think I have some more roundness in the middle than in the index. And you can mix both of them, of course, if you want to, and you can apply it to different techniques, especially doing something like this, double popping. The usual triplet that you can get. And something like that. You can definitely apply it if you tend to use one another. How do you play so many dead notes for The Awakening by Les Claypool? That was a good song. It's really old from now, but I really enjoyed playing that one. But yeah, for the dead notes, it's usual. I think it's a go-to if you want to improve a lot of your versatility and maybe technique and sound in general, because muting, it's really important in bass in general. Okay, especially when you know ghost notes. I tend to call them ghost notes. Some people call them dead notes. I don't know. but getting the percussive sound out of your bass will improve the percussive element and the rhythmic element of playing slap and playing with fingers also. So always remember the basics of ghost notes is trying always not to get a noticeable tone. You shouldn't get a really that noticeable frequency from a good ghost note. Okay, it shouldn't be this. Those are called harmonics, and maybe a badly executed harmonics. But in this case, you need to tend to use all of your fingers or most of your fingers to stop the sound. Okay. Especially they are really good to maintain also your timing. I think they help a lot if you have troubles with timing. And I think that exercise is one of the best to improve in right hand technique for ghost notes and applying ghost notes over here. It's just constantly trying to play the ghost note and at one or other time choosing to play a note, something like this. Again, I'm just going through 5th and 8th fret from an A to a C with 4 fingers, okay? So the case for different notes will be different. For example, if I need to play this A, I need to involve these 3 fingers into the string so I can get a nice ghost note tone. Okay, I'm not just using this finger to stop it because it will sound something like this. Using just one finger. You can hear all of those harmonics that you don't want to if you want to play ghost notes again. So you need to go there, then stop with 3 fingers. Then again, using middle, now I stop with 2 fingers. Always trying to support myself. If I'm playing with this finger, I support myself with the 2 fingers that I have above it. Okay, to get again a nice ghost note sound. Same for slapping actually, okay? Um, if you know a little bit of the technique already of slapping, if you don't, you can let me know. But if you do and you already manage how to do this, maybe you can apply a little bit of the ghost notes, and that's the same thing for left hand. Maybe trying to take care even more because you're applying more force, so maybe more harmonics will come through. That should be the sound. And you can hear some a little bit of pitch, but it's really difficult to just mute it completely. You can pick a really hot spot between maybe some frets to get the most muted sound, but in some cases you will have to struggle with it, okay? So for example, something like this. Again, same thing, but with octaves. I'm doing A, then the other higher octave A. Always remembering that you have this interval, an octave, always in this distance, okay? Always in the two next frets and the two next strings. You will have the octave. So you can maybe play it with slapping and then trying to mute. Okay, with the whole hand, mostly with all the fingers trying to stop the sound. And then again, one up, another one up. Maybe you can switch to A string. And whatever, okay? That will improve a lot of your sound, I think, knowing ghost notes, because it's just like knowing another word in your language. That's anything of it, okay? It's like not knowing how to apply a hammer on or a sliding and many other techniques, okay, that will give you the difference. I know I'm skipping a lot of comments. Sorry for that. Maybe you can repeat the questions. So, I think in the state of this channel and the streams, really, I don't have that many people watching, so I can still read the comments. So, going over the tempo with Tommy the Cat. Okay, maybe we can check about that. Maybe it's a little bit advanced. I don't know, but no, maybe we can check it out. Let me search for the tablature so we can get the whole idea of what I transcribed. Okay, so I will give me some time to search for it, and we can do something about it. Maybe I'll read something else in the meantime, okay? I just need to search for the tablature. It's a lot of songs that I have to actually search through. And from Primus only, I think I have about, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 covers. Most of them are old now. Okay, I think I have it. So we're just going to use the main riff, okay? We're just going to go through that. Okay, there we have it. Let's switch the screen into there. Okay, there you should see it. Tommy the Cat. Okay, different techniques. So first of all, to build up the tempo, of course it's really fast. You will need to play it really slow. As I always say to you, if something is faster, you play it slower, even slower. Even if it's really fast, play it really slow first. It's just a thing to do, because you need to go through the stage of knowing your muscle memory and knowing your brain memory. Okay, your brain controls all of your limbs, so you need to go over that. So first, strumming. I just mentioned it last stream. I think we talk about a lot about strumming. We usually do, but you have this really fast. Is those two fingers going down with the nails and going back with the tip of the fingers. Okay, so you have this. Always playing in this part, okay? So you have ghost note with slapping from G to A. Ghost note, hammer on into A, again the ghost note. So you go. That's the first thing you really need to practice, okay? It's so you again strumming pa 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 pum. So really slow. First part, okay? Okay, there's a lot of simplified versions of this, but this is the one I listened to while transcribing, and I think it involves a lot more technique into it. You can easily simplify this and maybe just do something like this. Or whatever, I don't know, but I really think this is the way, okay? So for Primus and for Les, of course, you need a lot of movement of the wrist and more slapping than popping, definitely, because you always have this. Controlling that will help you a lot, okay? And I don't control it that well, actually. But if you play it at a higher speed, it's usually a little bit more permissive to skip one or another thing. But you shouldn't think about that, okay? You should always execute it especially if you're playing it slowly, try to execute it as clean as possible, okay? So the other part, it's a little bit more tricky, I think. So you have this. So this will be a little bit difficult to notice you're doing it, and I think it costed me a little bit, because you will usually not get that of a good sound of the slapping. But that's it. It's A, G, then going down in semitones, okay? So you can mix both of them really slow, okay? And whatever. I really need to practice it to get it really clean, as you can see. And it's been a while, so I prefer you to go until the part, until the speed in which you know it's sounding clean, and then go over it. But as you know it perfectly on one timing, you can go and practice. With Go Play Along, you can actually pick this little riff and select the where it is, loop playback, maybe giving a little bit less tempo, even half of it, even 25%, something like this. And just and you know, maybe you think you mastered that 25%, and you can go over, I don't know, a little bit less, a little bit more, maybe 50. There is a 50. And when you got the groove, you can go over it, and that's it, okay? That's it with practicing. It may be a little bit tedious, maybe a little bit boring in some parts, but the little goals will keep you on, I think, knowing that you're really going close to the 100% of knowing the speed and whatever. But there's some grinding you have to do actually, okay? Sorry if I extended too much, and I hope I'm helping you. Okay. If you have more questions, you can always go to the live chat, of course. And if you want more time into it, you can go to super chat and whatever. Okay. Let me check some things before we start. I think after the about to the end of it, I'll try to play a backing track in which I try to explain you and give you examples again of what we just talked. The thing is, I forget what we just talked. Okay, we talked a bit about Tommy the Cat, a little bit about ghost notes, and a little bit about other thing that I don't remember. Okay, but let's continue. How do you slow it down? Okay, first of all, I'm not paid by Go Play Along in any way, but it's a software that I really love, and I keep a lot of contact actually with the creator of it, and we kind of like work in giving some tips on creating a good learning software. I think that's a really great goal. So it's Go Play Along. You can go to the page. You can download it actually for free, and you can buy it if you want to get more features as usual on any software. But it's a really nice software because you can synchronize the song, not the awful MIDI I just used. You can synchronize the actual song and actually slow down the original song, play along with it, knowing what's he doing on the bass, and going over and over and trying again and again. So I recommend it, of course, especially for training. You can do it also on Guitar Pro, and you can do it by yourself if you want to. Just memorize it and be consistent on a metronome basis. You have metronomes all everywhere on the internet. Okay, there's never an excuse. Now, XTBN Favela says, ya hay tutoriales de many of the songs que están pidiendo. Check the channel videos. Yeah. This is not the place for request. As I said, I'm not going to play over a song because of copyright, unfortunately. And most of the songs that people ask usually have a cover on the channel. But if you want maybe detailed things, just like I did with Tommy the Cat, we can go over it, okay? For Toys Go Winding Down by Primus, how do you keep those triplet notes consistent in sound? I always get this undesirable twang. Okay, let's go into it, okay? Again, give me some time for searching. The Toys Go Winding Down. Okay, I remember this had a lot of difficult things about using maybe 3 fingers. I don't remember. Okay, here it is. That's the main thing, I think. Okay, back to tablature. Maybe you can see it right there. So it's okay. First of all, when I transcribed this, I noticed that Les used 3 fingers. Okay, in some cases he uses 3 fingers, but most of the cases when you have a more 3-pack, kind of like 3-packed notes. So you have for triplets, maybe for this type of construction, which is it's kind of like a 30-second notes, 3 of them, and then a silence. So you have a. If you skip the silence, it would be just. but you're just doing this. But you're not using 2 fingers, you're using 3. So you start with ring finger and then go middle index. So and it's a really noticeable sound, I think. So first of all, for not sounding twangy, you usually need to check more of your left hand technique. Maybe you're doing something not maybe you're not working the muting part, okay, which is really important. If you play, you're always muting for the silence. So look at my left hand. First of all, practicing slowly, of course, if you're struggling with the speed. And practicing this, because it's not just go and apply the ring finger if you never use it, because that will damage your timing a lot. Okay, so maybe it will sound with bad timing, something like this. And you will not manage to get a really nice even note. Now it's a quite natural thing to do with your fingers when you usually tap on your desk or whatever you're doing. It's more of a Gallop thing. That it's not that unnatural, so you can apply it over here. Okay, if you listen to the original track, it's not that clean. Okay, it's of course clean, but in some cases you get a little bit of a thing, a little bit of a fart over there, because it is difficult. Okay, but if you want cleanness, you need to check more on your left hand, as I said. Always playing and then muting. Okay, the silences are not there for joke, they are there for being interpreted, and that's a thing that most beginners will not get. Usually silences must be interpreted also, especially on bass. If you have a silence, you need to silence. It's not, it's okay. That makes a difference always. Okay, don't ever think otherwise. But that's it. I hope I could help you a little bit. Okay. So more questions, you can let me know. Primus is always a really interesting thing, of course. Pushing always the limits on bass, and that's great. But I don't share the thing that most beginner intermediates always try to go to is just having like a beacon, having an idol that plays really technical difficulties and whatever. I think you should look up to many other bases that are maybe not doing that flashy things, but are really creating really good lines also. Okay, that is the thing. Um, Usually a beginner when he picks up the instrument, or she, I hope, picks up the instrument, you tend to want to play the best, want to play technical, want to uh, admire technicality as if it were the ultimate answer to anything, and that is I think wrong for me. Okay, because you need to look up to other things too. But technique should be really important for you if you're a beginner, intermediate, or whatever. But technique not in the way of speed, not in the way of flashiness, but in the way of carrying of the sound, as you do with muting, and many other things. I think things that go in favor of the sound. That should be your goal, I think. Okay. Opinion on tape wound strings. I never had the chance to actually play them. I don't think I ever even played uh, flat wounds. Yeah, I never even played flat wounds actually. I know the sound of it because many of the songs have flat wounds. The one I have to play, and I know maybe if I had flat wounds, this would sound more like it. But I tend to be a cheap bitch in some cases, and I don't buy many strings because I like round ones really. But my mission, I think, is having at least one precision type bass, at least one fretless, at least one 5 string probably, and maybe switching between strings, at least one with flat ones, at least one with whatever, and so I don't have to just depend on this one. Why did you buy a Warwick instead of? This is not a Warwick. It's Washburn. I just said it. It's Washburn T24. It's in the description of every video, and I have to tell everyone every day because they ask me and they don't see the description. I don't know if that's your case, but the thing was just money, man. Of course, a jazz bass or precision is quite expensive, at least here in my country. Probably not with Squire. Maybe I could have a Squire Jazz, but in that time I didn't knew that much about the greatest instrument to get. I just watched this one and I actually liked the way it looked, and I went for that in many aspects. Then I tested it and I said, okay, it's okay, but I don't have that many background behind to say, okay, maybe this could be better or whatever, because this is my beginner instrument. It still is. And I tested others over time, and I liked others, but I don't think they make that difference in my technique already. I think technically I can get many of the things that I want over here, but in terms of sound, maybe for sure it could improve. Okay. How do you start to learn the fretboard and all the notes within it? I have no idea how to start. Okay, that's an interesting thing. First of all, you really need to know your open strings. I think that's the basis. Of course, G string, D string, A string, and E string. There you have notes and names. After that, you can do the kind of like the grinding part. That would be, what is this note? I don't know. Maybe we can go over the fact that I know that this is G, and I can do something like this: G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, and D, and discover that this note is D, and not forgetting it. But in most of the cases, that will be a waste of time. Okay, but I think at first, in some cases, you will need to do that, or at least get a difference. I mean a reference. But the other thing is learning patterns of scales, and that will help you a lot too. Okay, learning scales will help you a lot with knowing your fretboard, and learning how intervals are expressed on the bass too. Okay, so the thing about intervals first, as I just mentioned it, if I know this note is an A, because maybe I just did the math and I went A, this is an F, then I just skip one tone, G, then another one, you have A. Okay, first of all, knowing that each fret represents a semitone, and if you go over 2, you have a tone. That's another thing you need to know, of course. Maybe you know this is an A now, and you'll never forget it because, I don't know, you played something and you know this is an A. Then over that A, you can go and know some intervals from that A to other notes. For example, the octave. The octave from A, it's here. It's always here, anywhere. If you have right here at D, here's the octave, okay? That's for everything. And to know that, you have a distance of 2 frets and a distance of 2 strings. I always, as I said before. And you will notice the sound, because you get kind of like the same note, but an octave above. Okay, if you can't know that this is an octave, you really need a little bit of ear training, I think. You can sing it even, or whatever. Okay, so knowing that, you already have knowledge that if I know this is an A, I have right here another A. Knowing that, maybe if I don't know this note, maybe I know the octave of this one and I know it's an F sharp. I don't know. That's another good tip, probably, about intervals and knowing not just an octave. Maybe you have a fourth right here. A fourth is always the same fret, but the next string. The fifth is always this shape, and maybe you can have a visual element to know notes around it. But in the other case, scales will help you a lot also, because you have for example, a C major scale over here. You will first know, okay, this is a C because it's C major, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. If you have that knowledge, right in this part, you already know names of notes. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay? And that's another nice way, okay? I think the best way for you would be knowing scales. I have, I think, 2 or more videos about major scale in all of the fretboard and pentatonic, or maybe blues scale on all of the fretboard. But knowing your major scale will be, I think, the most important, because then you will know a lot of the how to know what note is what fret. It's different story if you want to apply it, maybe, and knowing, okay, in this chord I can play those notes. That's another story. But at least you will know, okay, what do I have here? It's an E, because I just did a quick math, really, and thought about this as an octave, and this is an E, and that's the same of this. Or maybe then I just know it's an E, because I just know, because it's been years of practice or whatever. But yeah, scales, very important too. Knowing scales, the major scale in every position over here. This is actually the second position. The first position would be something like this, see, with open strings. That's the first, this is the second. This is the third one, maybe you can figure out. Maybe this is not the third one, this is more like the third one. Here's a fourth. And then you will know in the notes, because you need to try to speak out of the notes, maybe saying C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, da 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 da. Then you'll notice this C is the same as this C. So that's I think a problem for string instruments. Repetition of notes will give you some confusion in the matter of, should I play it over here or should I play it over here? I don't know. And that's a way of tabs actually helping you. And many other things. I hope I'll help you, I don't know. Por ahí dicen que soy chileno, sí. Terriblemente chileno. Espero que no se me note tanto al hablar en inglés. Y en español, porque trato de modular. Pero si quisiera hablar en chileno, bueno, ¿cachai? So, Metal Bass Covers asks, show exercise for stamina for both hands. Okay, I always think one of the best exercises for stamina in both hands and warming up would be just this one, okay? One note per finger. And going down. Okay, with not much rigorosity, you can go up, go down, maybe go anywhere, okay? But forcing yourself to have an equal strength for all the fingers in the left hand will give you a lot of improvement. And you can modify this exercise. I really like this one. It's just, if you think about finger position as 1, 2, 3, 4, this would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So maybe sometimes I like to mix up with this and maybe do 1, 3, 2, 4, something like this. Sorry. That gives you another perspective about it. And I think for more stamina in a right hand, you need more intensity. Maybe practicing something like this with 16 notes. And then mixing up with the same exercise but playing 4 notes, for 16 notes for each note, maybe something like this. Okay, but I always tend to go for try to play a song or a difficult line that you can maybe go into it and slow it down, as I just told you. Slow it down and try to pace it well, and as you play it, try to always care for your position of hands. That's very important. Okay, mostly than stamina and many other things. Having a good position, it's important, really important. When you're playing technically, try to not put your thumb over here and many other things that I always tell you, okay? And the grip over here, fixing yourself with the thumb right here, constant motion, relaxed positions, movement of the wrist to kind of like focus on some parts of the bass, but not that much movement of the fingers. Actually, more movement of the wrist in skipping strings. What else? Many other things. But for stamina, you can actually go into songs. Actually, some of them that I know for experience that took me more time to get would be Hysteria from Muse. That's a really nice line to practice some accuracy and right hand stamina, especially for this. Especially for right hand, I think. Really good for right hand. And you go over 3 strings and you have to cross over strings. A really good exercise for right hand. And I don't know for left hand right now, but it's just a thing about I always tend to go to prefer to tell you play over songs, but play over them consciously, because that could be a little bit more entertaining, I think. I don't sit here 2 hours just playing scales and warm up. Maybe I should, but honestly, I don't like it that much. I prefer to play over songs and play and play and play and play, and then get it a little bit more warmed up. Maybe improvising something. But I always warm up, especially if the climate is cold. I always do a little bit of warm up, something like this. I tend to go backwards more because that's a little bit more difficult. And warming up your little finger will always get you into more ground, I think. Okay. More questions here. Any really good rhythm exercise to learn how to lock in with the beat and the drummer? You know what? Let's search for a drum track, so we can maybe work out something. Yeah? Because first, looking in the beat, you can do it with metronome easily, just practicing and being aware of it. But creating rhythm for yourself and looking with the drummer, first of all, you need a consistent drummer, of course. But if you don't have, you can always give him a little bit of the rhythm also. Okay, here's something. I don't know. Okay, that will be enough, I think. So maybe you want to play over this. A little bit more volume. So maybe just as an example, what I'm doing to follow up with the drummer is taking care of each instrument of the drums by itself. I think I tend to go to try to listen more of the hi-hat because it has the division and that can help you to get into a more difficult rhythm. But locking up with the kick drum is always something that it's very important, because the combination of both things is usually a thing that you want to get spot on, because that will make a little bit of a notice. You have both two things that are really close in the frequency spectrum, so if they are not locked, you will notice. So lock up with the kick drum most of the time, so you can follow with the bass. And for simple rhythms, maybe something like this, eighth notes, you need to practice your internal rhythm, of course. For that, metronome and playing with a band, of course. And what else? I don't know what else. There's people that have a really bad time with rhythm, and it's usually a good idea to let go of the instrument and just move yourself over the beats. Okay, moving your arms, making percussions, even actually dancing a little bit. Okay, if you can at least dance to a rhythm, it's difficult that you will get lost with an instrument, I think. Okay, you need to move, compromise, I think, all of your body into the rhythm, and that's not a poetic bullshit that someone will ever tell you. Maybe it's really real. It's a really important thing to do. You're not just playing with fingers, okay? You're moving yourself into the rhythm. You're locking all of your body into the rhythm, okay? And that doesn't mean that you need to jump over it and maybe be stupidly fast. I mean, dancing everywhere. I don't know. You really need to think about it as a bodily experience. But even you can achieve that if you're not moving that much. Okay, it may be a feel thing, as many people will tell you. It's just a feel. It's just feeling the groove, and that's the thing. It's when you give not that scientific in a way aspects about music, you tend to go over subjectivity, and you don't want that in some cases. You want answers in some cases. So if someone tells you, "Oh, just feel the rhythm, man," or whatever, you're not getting much from it, really. You need something else. But I think, yeah, my answer could be, um, try to compromise your whole body into the rhythm, in a way. Okay, it's moving maybe a little bit of your internal self over the rhythm, if you don't want to move that much over the song, actually. Okay, that's enough for that. What's a good slap practice routine? Asks Jonathan Kreitzer. Okay. I always tend to tell you guys about this. A lot of octaves with slap would be, I think, a good routine, because you want to have evenly consistent pop and slap. But again, if you're not that accustomed to practicing routines, you can just go into a nice line over a slap line, and practice it. Even something like this, you know. If you do that every day and practice it and get it in a way good, you are doing a good routine of practicing. You have many elements that you need to practice of slapping right there. You have a slapping, popping, you have ghost notes over there, maybe a little bit of techniques, I don't know. But for warm up and anything, I would recommend you octaves for sure. Trying to move with your octaves, trying to lock down, and try to focus on the problems you think you have. If you have more problems on accuracy, maybe practice skipping strings with slapping and popping. Maybe doing something like this, just with slap, if you're more carrying into more of a slap. Or maybe just popping. Or both. Sorry. Maybe something like that. I don't know. You can build up exercises. I don't think giving exercises is that good if you can make your own. Okay. Felipe Guzman, as usual, thanks for being here. Can you talk a bit about right hand position? It's easier for me to play near the neck, but since I have to bend my hand more, it tends to hurt over time. It's not easy for me to play near the bridge. Okay. How can I start? Okay, if it hurts, always stop playing first. Okay, that's an advice and a warning. And if it hurts, probably you're doing it not that great, unless you're doing a consistent, really, really tough exercise. Okay. So you should be able to play in all the extension of here and not having most problems, because it's not a thing of choice. In some cases you need to get into here for some more presence, for some more clarity. And for playing fast passages, usually I tend to go for this part of the pickup of the fret of the the bass in general. And I think it's a little bit easier to play something like that here than here, because the strings will rebound a lot more, okay? And you get a little bit more of a fatter sound, a little bit more of a less sharp sound. So controlling both should be ideal for me, okay? For doing that, I think you need to practice a little bit more stamina, because you need a little bit more strength to build up if you want to play over here, okay? But it might be a thing of choice also. I don't like it that much playing over here, you know, like from a standard position. My standard position will never be over here. Maybe not even here. Maybe it will be something like in between here. Okay, so you have a more middle ground. And I tend to know the differences between playing here and here. But I don't know. Try to lock on with the pickups. That will help you. Try to use your thumb over here, and maybe many other things I could tell you if I actually watch you play. That's not a bad idea. If you want, you can send videos over Facebook, and I can tell you more things for every one of you. That's not a bad idea. If you want to send videos, not naked, please. ¿Crees que es mejor practicar con metrónomo y sin metrónomo para no hacerse dependiente de él? Definitivamente, sí. No soy alguien que practique mucho con metrónomo, pero creo que tengo bastante buen timing. Diría que una de mis aptitudes un poco bien desarrolladas. Y no practico mucho con metrónomo, la verdad, pero sí practico mucho con baterías. Y practico tratando de seguir el feel de la canción, como lo decía en inglés hace poquito. Un buen ejercicio es poner un metrónomo que solamente dure, por ejemplo, 4 primeros beats, después pare y tú sigas tocando hasta que vuelva el metrónomo. De esa manera te vas a dar cuenta que tú mantuviste el beat y llegaste a tiempo al 1 del metrónomo. Eso es un buen ejercicio. ¿Qué más puede ser? Eso. En un tiempo, sí practiqué, en un inicio practiqué mucho con metrónomo, mucho con... y por el hecho de practicar con midis o con Guitar Pro, que siempre lo hacía, siempre va a tener un tiempo constante. Y eso está bastante bien, igual como en favor al mundo digital. Porque siempre va a tener un tiempo constante en el que practicar. Creo que a veces mi misión ahora es como salirme un poco a veces del tiempo, tratar de crear más el groove en base a pequeños errores, que eso puede ser bastante interesante. Okay, I don't speak Polish, sorry. I don't speak Portuguese also, sorry for that. I speak Spanish, so when someone asks me anything in Spanish, I tend to respond in Spanish, so I can be more, I think, more helpful. I always struggle when I maybe not that much now, but I struggled with trying to communicate in English, especially with technical things and whatever. And that's a reason because I'm liking doing this, because if I do it every week, I will for sure improve. Saludos desde Colombia. Excelente. ¿Qué Can you help me with the chorus from Red Hot Chili Peppers' Dark Necessities? Definitely. Yeah, I can help you. Let me look for the tablature. I was just playing this yesterday, I think. Well, but let's search for the tablature, okay? It's a little bit difficult, yeah. It's difficult, and I think it's a little bit of an odd type of line for flea. I would say it's a little bit more technical, but not that he's not technical, but it's more different, I would say. Certainly more of a modern approach. I think I have it right here. That's it. This is the chorus for me, okay? If I'm wrong, you can tell me, but I think this is the chorus. So you have this. I'm going to try to follow up. That's it. So this is all constructed on octaves, and the difficult part is that those octaves are moving a lot. So you have this, and I think one of the problems could be managing to knowing which fingers to use, especially if you have something like this, because you have to cross a little bit over it. You have 3 notes and then the octave, so you don't have an even thing, something like this, you know. You have 3, so if you start with a middle finger, the most natural could be going over index for the octave, or maybe if you're starting with a index, with a middle, okay, the opposite. I go with the index for this one, so I go index, middle, index, and then middle. Try to use more of a index middle game, so you don't get lost that much, okay? So the difference with timing might be a little bit of a thing also. You have tu-tu-tu-tan, tu-tu-tum-tan, different silences in between. Tu-tu-tu-ta-ta-ta-tum-tan, tu-tu-tu. You're losing the head of the second beat. But for example, I'm doing it index, middle, index, then I repeat with the same fingering in the right hand. But when I go over the 2/11s, I actually repeat the index. I don't know why, but let me think about it. Yeah, that's because then you have 2 octaves that are more easy to follow if you have index, middle, index, middle. So for you to not get crossed in between, it's better to repeat index, okay? So you have a I'm repeating the beginning of the 4th beat and the 16th note behind it. It's always repeating the index to get more shape into it. So it's index, middle, index, middle, index, middle, index, middle, repeat index, and you go in a well shape to repeat the same rhythmic with the same fingering. Okay, so for the 8, for F, you have same, repeat index, and you have 2 clean octaves again. Okay, that would be the ordination of fingers. I think it's the most comfortable for you. Start with index, index, middle, index, then middle, and for the final part, double index. Okay, so you have to do two fast index movements, and the movement of the hand itself might be a little bit difficult too. Try to maintain good position, not putting your thumb over here. You will just limit yourself. Okay, this position always. And really tight. Okay, really staccato, as I would say it. Even if it's not notated, you have lots of silences you want to take part in. And for the second part, over there, same thing. It's the same rhythmic pattern, so you have mostly the same order of fingers right here. Okay, same for the second bar. And then you go back to the same deal with some little differences. Okay, I don't think I have much to say about it. It's just practicing really slow, trying to get into the fingers. I think that could be a thing of confusion, knowing which fingers to use, for sure. Okay. I play drums a little bit. Okay, thanks to you, man. I hope I can clarify some things. So, how are we doing? I think it's time to move on, or not. I don't have many questions now. So, maybe it's time to go for today. I am going up in case I missed something. Important. Okay, no. Okay. If anyone has any other thing to say, you can say it now, because in some minutes I will end this. Okay. Will you do theory only videos or always with technique? If you ask me something about theory, I can really tell you some things. I have a some kind of a music degree, so maybe we can talk about that if you want to. But yeah, the thing is that people may have not the knowledge of knowing which questions to ask. So I probably like to maybe do a theory only stream in which I give you some basics of theory, but I think I would need to prepare that as a class, you know, because I don't want to mess up, and it's easy to mess up in giving good information. Uh, Tripping on a hole in a paper heart chorus. Okay, I'll go into that. Okay. A lot of Stone Temple Pilots right now. I like it how you help yourself to for me to get your attention. Okay. Yeah, if you want to, I can do something about theory in some other time, maybe a theory stream or something like that. I don't know. But if you have questions now, you can tell me whatever. How to start on rhythm? How to start on reading notes? What else? Theory of harmony. That's the thing that everyone wants to know and should. I'm thinking on buying maybe a little board, you know, a digital board, so we can write things on a maybe on a board. I would like that. And I like the use of technology as you can maybe tell. Okay, let's go into tripping on a hole. Okay, let me get rid of some of these. Okay. Stone Temple Pilots. Tripping. Okay. You want the chorus? Okay. Let's go into the chorus. Okay, this is the verse, of course. Okay. Here, this is the chorus for me. Okay, I don't know if I notate it, but here it is, as it follows. Okay. There's some nice things to get over this. Yeah. First, I think the first part is not that difficult. You have a B. For that, I don't think that you need that much attention to it. It's just Okay, trying to go down, especially when knowing that you're going to go even more down. A little bit of a ghost note there, and more ghost notes here. So it's just ascending from B. And then this should be the part that maybe troubles you a little bit. I don't know. Okay, I chose, I think, this position because probably I noticed that that's the way he plays it. Okay, but in theory it's just this. First you go into it, up, and this. First you have 12. When you're going into the 9 right there, 9 12, I'm just using one stroke of the middle finger to pick those two notes. A little bit of raking there, okay? Okay. So very slow again. It's very important. You can go over the ascending part as you want to, in a way. You can maybe do something like this, but the important thing is getting to the 12, to the A, with a little finger or maybe a ring, I don't know, because you will have to do with better position for this part. Okay, you have to deal with better position. Last time. So for improving your speed on this, it's really important to do the raking. Just with one finger, with middle finger or maybe index, you cover two strings, this and this, and then you attack with the other finger always. That gives you a lot of speed, and it's used in many other contexts. That's an example of raking. And whatever, okay? I also don't have much to say about this one. If you have more doubts, you can let me know. Did you just assume my genre? What's going on in the live chat, man? Mr. Nassim, you're always a really naughty boy, but I like that you're always here. Keep your questions like the ones that I just covered. I identify as a loser. Yeah. I do live videos, and they are usually on Fridays, YRMB. They are usually on Fridays, and now I'm doing it on Thursday because tomorrow I probably can't. So it's a special thing, but you should look up to it for every Fridays on an afternoons. For me, I don't know what time is it in your country, but give a like on Facebook if you want to get noticed. Okay. Um. I mean, if you want to, for me to give you the the notice of a new stream. Uh, Hello from Brazil. I have this Taurus too. Hey, oi. Me gustaría hablar en portugués. How long I have been playing, and that's the usual question. You know, at the beginning of each live stream, I tend to go with the usuals. And the usual one of the usuals is that I've been playing for about 6-7 years probably. And maybe I'm lying, I don't know. From I think 2009 was one of the first time I picked up a bass. But 3 years from now, I think it's more of a decisive time of practice. Do you prefer jazz or funk? Please don't talk. Don't give me choices in that matter. I can't decide. Why would I prefer jazz or funk? Why couldn't I just enjoy both of them, man? I don't know. I don't have favorites. I always say it, and people, I think they throw shit at me when I say it. I don't know if anyone agrees with me, but I don't have favorites of anything. I couldn't decide, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Getting more influence for more people will give you more richness on your own ideas. That's anything. Definitely 5 strings are needed for different genres, especially if you want to get more of the low end, of course. I've seen a lot of gospel players with six, even I think a 6 string bass was invented in gospel. I'm not really sure, but it's a thing of getting into the body of the sound, that thing that goes into your chest, and probably for spiritual music you need more of that. Of course you need it also for metal. Here there is the duality, I think, because with more low end you get more and more punch into it. I love emo music. What music is emo? I don't think no one wants to relate with that definition. How fast did I learn the bass? I don't think that fast. As I said, I've been playing for about 6-7 years, and for the most of the time, I didn't play that much as I play now. Now I'm playing about in a minimum 2 hours or 3 hours a day, and that should do something. I don't consider myself the best, not even an expert, not even advanced, really. But I think I can teach a little bit better than some other people. I think I can give better learning tools, more of a analytic way of the basics, I hope. Yeah, Robert De Leo, it's a really great bassist, especially really influenced by other American greats. He always says, I think, in an interview I listened, that it's mostly Jamerson influence, and you can see it, of course. Most of the Motown world, and especially Jamerson, took a lot of care of going into the harmony, not just playing tonics, not just playing easy rhythms in some cases. Um, and I think that is a really great difference between a bad and a good bass player or bass line. Or I don't know if bad or not, but if the genre allows you to, you should try to cover more of the harmony. Okay, that's a thing for the theory live solutions that I probably will do in some time. Okay. How long does it take me to learn each song? It really depends, but now I'm taking a week to learn about 2 or 3 songs maximum, because I want to take care of them good. And it really depends on the difficulty. Okay. Who puts glue in their fingers? I don't know. Okay, one last question. Okay, I think this is a nice last question because we're going down in time. Then I think I'll play a little bit of a backing track. So here it is, last question probably. Okay, I've been playing for 2.5 years now, but my slap sounds a little aggressive. Can it be fixed, you think? Well, yeah. When you play slap at first, I think you tend to go more aggressive. You tend to go more like this. And with a lot of resonance, I think more like a flea. And aggressive slapping, I think, is just another type of it. It's nothing to a less degree, I think. But if you want to get more of the tight slapping that you see in some players, it's just a thing of controlling the force of your wrist. And I always give this example. I don't know if it's that clear, but when you do martial arts in general, or try to learn how to apply force, but with not that not that aggressive, actually, you need to focus your force and make more of a more economy of your movements. And for example, if you want a nice tight slap, maybe you need a fast motion of your wrist, and that's it. You don't need to do something like this to get a nice slap tone. Maybe you need something like this. It's a fast motion, kind of like a whip, and there you have it. And if you apply it to pop, I think it's kind of like the same thing. You know, you're playing something like with finger. And maybe you do a little bit of a thing right here. You know, the tightness will depend on the force you applied, and And I think in the technique you can play with your bass here, over here, like this, doing slap like this, and that will give you a little bit more aggressive resonance. I think if you tend to play slap right like this, it's a different story, I think. And that position will give you more of a natural ghost note feel, and more muted and more tight, I think. Okay. I think it's enough. You think? Yeah. Okay. I know when I have to go, and it's when I just see Nathan Pringle and Nassim comments. But I love you guys. So thanks for being here, anyone that watches this. I think it's been a great session. So now I think I'll be playing a little bit of a backing track just to mess around, and I will remind you that you need to follow on Twitch if you want more streams. You need to go to Facebook if you want to be aware of when I'm doing this, and you need to go. I don't think you need to go to Twitter. I'm not doing anything right there. And consider becoming a patron, of course, as I always say. You people are the ones keeping this alive. For sure. I don't know what I do without you guys. Maybe I have to figure out something, but I hope I can keep the work on, because I've been uploading really frequent things. I've been doing a lot of things with the time I have, because I'm just dedicating into this. Okay. So that would be all. Okay, I'll play a little bit and then I'll say goodbye to you. Hello, Miguel Valencia. Let me go to... Okay, you know what? Let's use this just drums. Whatever. If you want to watch me doing some stupid things on the bass more, you can go to Twitch, and I probably do this on this night, maybe tomorrow, maybe every day. Okay. Goodbye, every one of you. Thanks for being here. Okay. Take care, and goodbye to Nassim, goodbye to Ricky B, goodbye to Anthony Miller, Stephen Lamb. That says show your face. You can watch my face in the band channel, man. I don't care about watching my face or here. I don't have the will to it. You just focus on the instrument. Hello to William. Goodbye to William Cairns. Goodbye to Atoll H. Goodbye to the Gumoy. Thanks to you, man. You helped me so much to improve. Thanks. I think that's the only goal I have now, okay? Trying to be a good teacher in a way. So, that's enough. Goodbye, everyone. Say goodbye. Don't be rude.